And this week's lore is brought to us by a Jinx player, someone who's fairly new in the Discord, but does always comment on the videos. So again, I think the best place to be watching is on YouTube. But they chose that they wanted this week to be stealing independence. So to do stealing independence for episode 161 here, again, brought to us by the Discord, I kind of have to talk about who Abraham Washington is, and then on top of talking about who Abraham Washington is, I then can go into it because it's more than just it's kind of like the topic I was talking about before. You need to know so much more backstory before you can actually get into what it is. So Abraham Washington was born in 2231 to 2232. It's never given an exact date. It's more of an estimation. He's about 45 years old. He's the owner and curator of Rivet City's Capital Preservation Society. He continues the work his parents started, preserving history. This and the society is his one love and passion, which allows him to live the life of a hermit. He has no social skills. He often talks to himself. He has a deeper affection for his collection rather than humans. Despite being reclusive, his terminal suggests that he's quite boastful of himself and very misogynistic. We'll get into a little bit of who Sydney is in a little bit later. But he states that if he wanted someone to do the job correctly, he should have sent a man. Abraham Washington doesn't know a goddamn thing about history, like whatsoever. He curates all this stuff, but like he kind of reminds me of what's his name? Mobius? Dr. Mobius from Big Mountain, where he's like, the raisin, because he says quite literally to the player character, if you ask about American history, he says, on July the 4th of 1776, a group calling themselves the Second Judgmental Congress got together at Fort McHenry in Maryland. I'm pretty sure he says Maryland. I'm reading it right off the wiki, right off of fallout.fandom.com. So there's no way for me to listen to it. I don't know why the file's not here. But if I remember correctly from watching a Let's Play of The Quest, he refers to it as Maryland. They got together at Fort McHenry in Maryland after a ceremony which ended with Paul Revere singing the famous battle hymn known as the National Anthem. The document was signed. From there, it was sent to England by plane, presumably, and presented to King George himself. Thus began the Evolutionary War. So, that's wrong. And I feel like people not from the States would know that that's wrong for many reasons, not just because of the historical inaccuracies of a plane, but like the Evolutionary War. This isn't Pokemon. Inside of his collection of American antiques and artifacts, he wants you to steal the Declaration of Independence. You can offer to steal it. He'll bring it up. He doesn't explicitly say, I want you to steal it. He'll bring it up and you could say, if you want me to steal it, I'll steal it. And he will offer to pay you he'll offer you a place in history, and then you can really ask him about it, what you're going to get out of it, and he'll give you the schematics to the railway rifle. The Declaration of Independence is in the ruins of the National Archive. Once you enter the archive, so this gets into the quest. Once you enter the archive, there's a woman guarding the building inside with mines laid about, and super mutants will attack. This woman is Sydney. She's a relic hunter. She knows about Abraham Washington and sent her to get the Declaration the first time, and knows she'll actually say to you, stop playing coy. I know Abe sent you to get the Declaration. She'll say she wants to split the reward with you and head back to Rivet City. You can either take the shortcut that she has and help her out, or take the longer route through the building, which is neat because there's a bunch of Protectrons and Sentry bots that are roaming around and you have to fight them. It's a neat little dungeon. Once you get to the bottom with the Declaration, you'll meet Button Gwennet, a Protectron with a powdered wig and a British accent. So when you get to Button Gwennet, there's a couple different options that you can take, and I'm going to read them directly off the wiki. And again, if I haven't already stated it, I get all my lore from fallout.fandom.com. You can kill Button Gwennet and have to fight off more robots, you can agree to help him by forging the Declaration of Independence with supplies from the Arlington Library. Once the player character gives the ink container to Gwinnett, he will create a forgery for him to give to Abraham Washington. If one tells him to continue to guard the document or do whatever he likes, he will remain active and they will gain karma. If one gives him the order to self-destruct, they lose karma. One can still take the genuine declaration and give both to Abraham Washington. You can convince Gwinnett that you are Thomas Jefferson through a speech check, which will allow them to simply grab the declaration and leave without having to do anything more. However, he will deactivate himself, after which you can kill him without karma loss or causing the turrets to turn hostile. You can also order Gwinnett to shut down and then have with the robot experts perk. There's a myriad of ways to get back out of it, and then you just take it back to Abraham Washington, and that's Stealing Independence. That's a side quest. It's in Fallout 3. It's a side quest that I think I've only done one time, to be completely honest, and it was one of my first times doing it, and I kind of just stumbled upon it, so I don't even really remember it all that well. But I do remember finding him, and I think I told him that I was what did I say, Thomas Jefferson? Yeah, either that or I made a forgery. I don't remember, but it's a neat quest. It's an achievement. It's a trophy. So I know I've had to have done it at least once. But yeah, that's Stealing Independence. That's Abraham Washington. That's lore.